topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Eat and Critique Show with restaurant critics Steve-O and Sophia. Brought to you by one of Steve-O and Sophia's favorite Incontro Italian cuisine and steakhouse located on the Walk in Coral Springs. Now, sit back while award-winning restaurant critics Steve-O and Sophia share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly in South Florida dining.
And we're back. Welcome to the Eat and Critique with Steve-O and Sophia. And we do have a show for you tonight. We're at Penelope's Live. We have Kevin, Chef Kevin, back again. And I know. And we have Kevin McCabe, who is the general manager here at the restaurant. So we had an incredible tasting. This is like another fabulous restaurant we want our listeners to join, and we're going to interview both of them in a second. Here's my co-host Steve-O.
Listen, I lived on Lake Pontchartrain in New Orleans, some of the finest eating restaurants there are in the world. And I got to tell you, and you know we always tell the truth here, I felt like I was in New Orleans. From the biscuits to the shrimp, the gumbo.
The decor.
It is unbelievable. I am so excited about this restaurant. In fact, Sophia and I both got things to go. we never do that.
We bought dinner. And Rebel, you're in Louisiana. You don't have anything compared to this, because I live there, and you know, Chef is a genius. He is a genius.
Well, I got to first of all, the name of the restaurant is Penelope's, and I read an article. The owner, one of the owners, Penelope, was his sister, and it's kind of a sad story. Her picture's hanging up here in the restaurant. And I tell you, when you come in, this is, a lot of you know Capal's in Mizner Park. This is where Capal's used to be until they moved. And Capal's is like one of the hottest restaurants. So now Penelope's is here. You guys are growing. I mean, gosh, between, we were at El Segundo a couple weeks ago. Fabulous.
Rodney's a genius. He has this is another subculture restaurant, by the way, listeners. And why don't we start with Kevin?
Well, I'm Carrie. That's
Carrie.
Kevin.
Oh, why'd I say Kevin?
That's all right.
I'm sorry. I know you're Carrie. Yeah. Carrie McCabe. Right?
McCabe, yeah.
You're Irish.
I am. Carrie Patrick McCabe. So very Irish Scotch. Exactly.
So you know the restaurant business.
He was manager before.
Yeah, I opened up the original Capal 13 years ago in this location. I've been 24 years in the restaurant industry, behind a bar for 22 and managing as well. And yeah, this space is very near and dear to my heart. And so I spent 11 and a half years here as Capal, and then we moved over to the larger location across the street. But when I had the opportunity to come back, it was, I jumped at it. It's funny. It's still the same footprint,
yes.
but different. And I always say this is it's sort of like when you have that dream that you're in your old childhood house, but it's the same but different. So that's. But I feel like home in this space, in this atmosphere.
It is very homey in here. How many seats does it have? And there's outdoor seating too.
Yeah, it's inside and out. Inside is, I think the occupancy is 116, I want to say, or something. I'm not 100% sure on that. We've changed it up a little bit, but it used to be.
I got to tell you guys, this is something that I really mean from my heart. When people ask us all the time, where should we go dine at? We even get a lot of celebrities, managers contact us. My client's coming in town. I want something different. I got to tell you, for Mizner, because it was always one of my favorites, was across the way, because they've been there forever, and it was always good, consistent food. I'm telling you now that when people ask me where to go eat, if it's Mizner, I'm absolutely telling them about Penelope's. This has become my favorite restaurant.
I like all of Rodney's restaurants, but I have to admit, if you're looking for the Cajun food, this is the place to go, because there is no other restaurant in Palm Beach County that even compares. And Chef Kevin, what you've done with the menu, it's like every bite I took, I had like all the flavors just burst in my mouth. It was just amazing.
We started off, and by the way, you've really trained your staff well. There's things that we look for, and our server, hit every one of our bullet points. And see, a lot of people might not we have to look at that. So you've done really a good job training your staff.
Who was your server?
Some guy off the street. Her name was Phoebe.
She's here. She's right there.
Yeah, she's right there. She was wonderful.
She's great.
And it's good that your food is great, the ambiance is great, but the service is so important. At least to us, it is. And listen, we have foodies. They go all over for good food. So we came in, and you started off with the biscuits. Now, again, I lived in New Orleans. Sophia, she was in Alexandria. Doesn't matter. Even some of the best food, though a lot of it's fried, but some of the best food is in southern Louisiana.
Beignets. You put a twist to it.
His beignets are better than Cafe Du Monde's beignets.
Absolutely.
Like 100%. I've eaten them there, and
I
put his up against his all day. Like, those are dense and and thick, and like his are crispy, light, and fluffy in the middle. Like they're absolutely amazing. I buy them for everybody coming in, and because we're new, we're trying to get people to come in and enjoy the food, but. Come on in from the street and let me buy you some beignets. Let me buy you, because I know they're that good.
One of the differences, I know, in New Orleans at least, the people who serve really good beignets, they just sprinkle lightly the powdered sugar. I don't know what it is. Not Kevin's. He douses them in powdered sugar. But it is each bite. We couldn't stop eating them. But let's go back. We got to start with the biscuits. Just your biscuits alone, I knew we were in for a good night. When you go for Mexican food, if the salsa's good, you're in for a good night. When you come for Cajun and the biscuits are good, you're in for a good night. Just biscuits.
Well, that's like you said, like a very simple recipe, but sometimes simple is key. We bake them pretty much not to order, because we cannot afford to do it on service, but we bake them fresh. Our biscuit don't spend over an hour sitting out there or anything. So we keep a part that we keep on firing towards service, and depending on how much we need. It's just a basic buttermilk biscuits, and then we top it with this honey butter. And then it's just, like I say, just simple flavors, but just done right. nothing else to it.
Something so simple that he made. It was wonderful.
He said simple buttermilk biscuits. They were not simple buttermilk. They were Kevin expert biscuits with that honey butters. I wanted to kind of get into a little bit before we go in the menu. I was like so impressed with Kevin's background, and I thought maybe Chef, you could tell us a little bit about your history on like how you came to where you are now.
Well, I moved about 14, 15 years ago from Colombia to the U.S. When I originally started like my culinary field in here, I started going to culinary school. I work in different restaurants, and I started from working the line. I became a sous chef in one French restaurant, and then when I started to achieve that point, I realized that I kind of wanted it to grow up more and more. Like I wasn't like just knowing one restaurant wasn't enough. Knowing one way to do things.
Weren't you the doorman at Waffle House starting off?
No.
No, what makes me laugh is he was going to law school. He wanted to be an attorney.
That was in Colombia. That was right before moving here. So I went to
Chef.
yeah. So it was a whole different switch of life. So when I came here, exactly, I didn't want to go to 7 or 10 years of like school again. I already had like enough with like 20 that I had already. So I was like, I need to do a change in my life, but I need to make it quick because I need to start making money. And I've been cooking since I'm a kid. My family, my whole background with my grandma, with my family, it was like, going out in the fields, getting the crop, getting animals, slaughtering animals to feed ourselves, getting all the crops from products, like everything, all the fruits and veggies, all in our backyards or in our farms. So like we would gather as a family, and then get a whole crop of corn, make it into tamales, make it into like something else, and then use an entire family. So like we would use our own cheeses. So we use homemade cheese, homemade tomato. Everything was like out of our lands.
No one pulling up your house.
No. That was no access to like technology. Like we had actually clay ovens, like wood fire burners. Like there was like nothing like gas or electricity back in those days.
We did start with the biscuits, and then you brought out the mac and cheese. Now that was a creation. Tell us about that. What I skipped? Oh, that's right, the gumbo.
That's
Oh
what
my
we want to
gosh.
take home with us. The gumbo. I mean, to duplicate Louisiana gumbo, but I thought it was even better.
It was better.
One of the things, remember I said, some of the gumbos have way too much heat. You can't even take it. It's just so much. Yours had the perfect amount. I mean, we loved it so much. We did something we never do. We've got to take some home with us.
It's
We never
it's
do
not
that.
just heat, it's salt too. Like a lot of times in Louisiana, everything's too salty.
Yeah.
And he's got it like right there where it's not too salty. Like and it like the gumbo's like probably my favorite thing on the menu.
It's amazing.
Like, it really is though. Like it's just a nice amount of heat. Like I'm a spicy person, so I put a little hot sauce in it. But I just one of those people that love heat. But the salt level, you can get so much above the salt level with a lot of these foods, like Cajun food in Louisiana and New Orleans. When I was there a few times, like it's too salty. Like a lot.
Weren't you shocked when you tasted his gumbo?
I was shocked with all of his menu. Like when I was at the tastings, I loved everything. I thought it was all great.
It's better than anything you're going to get. I think it's better than anything that you're going to get in New Orleans. And I'm not just saying that. It was one of the most delicious dishes ever. And I don't know what you did different to make it different from New Orleans, but whatever you did, Chef, it was amazing.
Well, that again, like Louisiana cuisine has a lot of like French influence. French cooking and French fine dining is one of my biggest backgrounds. Working with chefs like Isaac Cerny from Pistache was one of my mentors. David Valencia is one of my mentors as well. He sent me to work with Alain Ducasse and chef from like really high levels like Daniel Boulud. So like just getting all this knowledge from like these really like renowned and these big chefs in the world like inspire me like to get all this French knowledge and apply it to every single thing. And Louisiana is the perfect example of like applying the French techniques and the French flavors and do it the right way, and then come out with like great results. So simple as a roux, simple as the usage of aromatics. It makes such a great difference once it's done right. For me, I like to like try to avoid like going into like darker roots because I think it kind of affects the flavor a little bit, and then it doesn't express the other flavors well enough. So like once you hide the flavors behind a really strong flavor, you cannot really differentiate the flavors. So I think that's kind of what I try to do: make sure that something is kind of like that gets all the flavors and get it into like one whole flavor that is completely like irreplaceable, completely unique.
Some people like a salad. I'm telling you, order the soup first. I don't care what else you get. Order the gumbo. It's out of this world. And you know, I got to tell you, your prices are good. They are, I mean, excellent. And that was another thing we looked at. The next thing was
it's only $13 for a whole gumbo. It's amazing.
oh, absolutely. Next thing was the crab cakes. Bro, you did it on the crab cakes. You know, a lot of people don't know how to prepare crab cakes. Either they have a lot of filling in it, oily. I hate oily crab cake. Yours were perfect. Perfect. It had just, I mean, I know there's a little filler in there, but I mean, you could taste the crab in it. And, you know, I like the way you serve them. See, the chef, the way he serves it, the way he plates everything, beautiful. Your plating is, and you consider it if you're going to come over here and have a drink, that's a good thing. Get some crab cakes. They're not the large ones. They're kind of like, I would say it's a bite-sized food. But you get, what'd you get? Four of them on the plate?
It's two crab cakes. Yeah. It's 6 ounces of crab cakes.
What kind of crab do you use?
So we use super lump.
Okay.
So it's bigger of a lumps. What I do with the crab cakes is I don't add any biting ingredients. I just add like a little bit of flavorings, but it's mainly crab. Like usually when you go out, you're asking for crab cakes, so it should be crab. Yeah, like that's the main ingredient. So there's a lot of people to try to replace or add certain things just to make it cheaper to like make it bigger batches. I think like I don't like to do that, especially to customers. I think you guys as customers, you guys should get what you guys are paying for. So that's one of the main important points for us.
It was definitely all crab, every bite you took.
You know, one of the things I think that makes a great chef, if you can serve somebody, like I'm not a big mac and cheese guy. It just does, I mean, and I've had so many different versions. Your mac and cheese, I could have eaten that all night.
It actually was very creative how you did the presentation on it. Do you want to describe?
Yeah. So, mac and cheese is like this very big staple in Southern cuisine. And then when I was when we were like developing the menu, I thought I like to do something that is is traditional, but I want to keep it on a different side. So for our mac and cheese, and we do, instead of a bowl full of noodles and creamy or cheesy sauce, I just do a noodle full of cheesy sauce and creaminess. And
oh, was there cheese in it? Oh.
So like I kind of like broke the concept of a mac and cheese. So like instead of so I did it kind of backwards, and that's what we do. It's like calamarato stuffed pasta with a little bit of a brown butter panko gremolata, mornay sauce, and a Gruyere cheese. So like this is a whole mixture of flavors. So one bite of pasta has all that you're looking for in a mac and cheese. It has that crunchy, it has that little bit of texture, it has that creamy and cheesiness, and it also has like that, like when we broil it, like it also has that like that char on the outside, and every bite has that little bite. So that's kind of one of the
crunch. You got to have the crunch.
It was crunchy.
So him that like mac and cheese bites don't do it justice, like how it says. They're like picture like almost a macaroni and cheese dumpling, like or a shumai, like whatever. It's like it's basically the noodle is the vessel, and then it's filled with his bechamel cream sauce and the gremolata on top, and then toasted. Like people think mac and cheese bites, they think panko fried, like noodles inside of a panko ball. Like these are like so outside and next level to that, like they're really like a really cool dish.
It was a creative way of presenting it. Rebel, I sent you a picture of the mac and cheese and oyster. That's been the only two I got a chance to send. If you could show it, maybe you have a chance.
What is that one?
That's the mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese, yeah. That's the mac and cheese bites.
Thank you.
We're gonna have to factory
See, they're
the mac
like,
and cheese.
they're like, and that's the muscle. The mac and cheese feels kind of like in a spiral. They're like, that one was bite size where you can just pull. It was really gooey and cheesy. It was packed with cheese.
Fried chicken.
Oh, that looks good. Oh my gosh. Makes
Can
me
we-
hurry.
Can you show that?
He's getting it to show.
They were just taking pictures of it. It's not on the line. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, this is the fried
That's
chicken.
the fried chicken and biscuits. Steve.
Got it? Oh, the biscuits are on there too. Oh, I smell the fried chicken. Oh, smell the fried chicken.
Oh, wow.
Chef, we didn't have the fried chicken. How do you prepare your fried chicken? Because whatever it is, it's different than everybody else does.
It looks crunchier.
well now what
Is it the batter?
No, it's actually just a regular dried bread. What we do is we poach first. I marinate the chicken in about buttermilk dressing. I marinated for like 24 hours. So like once it's brine and marinated for 24 hours, I soft poach it for until it reaches a certain temperature, and then we just cool them down. And then after that, we just have we treated every piece delicate, and then we just dredge it in our seasoned flour. Our seasoned flour is a mixture of cornstarch, semolina flour, all-purpose flour, and a bunch of other seasonings. And then we just flash fry it. So our chicken is completely fully cooked, and then it's gonna be super tender. It's gonna be always juicy. So
Okay. Now, is this how it's served?
yes.
Okay. And then we went to the shrimp grits.
That's always been my favorite. And now,
The crow also.
yes, we did. And now I have instead of Howley's shrimp and grits. Sorry, Rodney, if you're listening. These are better than at Howley's, I have to say. I don't know what you did, but you did the little subculture twist to this one.
Oh, the subculture foam. Yeah, well, we're part of the subculture, so I kind of wanted to highlight a little bit of the subculture side. For subculture, we get our own roasted beans, I think from Colombia, and that's what it makes subculture coffee a little bit different than everybody else, like others coffee shops. So we use the subculture coffee in order to make a foam. It's a foam made with Parmesan and heavy cream. So it just That's kind of like a take on a red eye gravy, which is very traditional to Southern cuisine. So like, red eye gravy is made out of like red chicory coffee. So when I was thinking this dish, I wanted to make something that it was traditional, but like that it had a little bit of twist. So I thought about like how to make it different, and then just the foam idea came out of my head, and I was like, great, I'm just gonna mix up these two concepts and see how it comes out, and it actually came out great.
I'm watching people service here. Tell us a little bit about the general manager. And people don't need people talk to the chef, they talk to people, all the different things that you do.
Oh my God.
Well,
but between, yeah, very long, but also have a partner that's working, just as much as me, if not more. He's here early in the morning to late at night as well. But it's a mixture of the front of the house, back of the house. It's just basically, for me, it's like it's time management and learning how to delegate a little bit. To make sure that you're getting the things done. I'm huge on hospitality service, but then also hospitality. Just making people feel welcome and special. That's basically my main focus on anything. Is like doing the little things to make people feel special. And whether it be, giving them some beignets, or, if they need something for anywhere, or just talking to people. Like I said, I've been in Boca del Rey. I've been working behind the bar and as a manager for 24 years. So I've created a lot of relationships, and that's what's important to me is the relationship building, learning about people, talking to people, and instilling that in the staff, making sure that, you're not an order taker, like people are coming out for an experience. You don't know if it's their birthday. You don't know if it's their anniversary. You don't know if they just came from a funeral. You don't know what their day was like. But your job is to make them, from the time that they're here, feel like they're special, and get away from the rest of their life.
The show has been running for 12 years now. And I got to tell you, I have seen such a change in manner. When you're talking how you are in this business, is how things used to be.
It's because I'm old.
No, it doesn't matter. It's about making sure that everybody has an incredible experience. And a lot of the new people in this business don't know that.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I've actually seen people go to the manager and say, we had a bad experience. Our food was this, and they got, I'm sorry. In the old days, you'd go, let me take care of it for you. Let me get you something. They don't do that anymore. Sophia and I talk about that all the time. So nice.
One of my favorite things to do is turn a customer around, or I'm sorry, not a customer, a guest.
And we're in Boca right now.
Yeah, but
Boca.
Oh yeah.
Boca is tough. It's not like any other city in the country. Customers are tough in Boca because they dine out a lot and they expect a lot. So I tell you, kudos to you that you still keep that same. Because we talk about it all the time. Did you see how that could treat?
It happened to me. Remember, I got the wrong meal 3 times. Not once, not twice, 3 times. Not here, not at all. No. And I tried to let them know that thank you very much, Carrie. No, it's okay. You got to manage. Thank you for being with us. Thank you. And they did nothing. In fact, I just told him to forget about it, and I gave up.
No. That's not what we do in here. Like you said, like we're here to please people. We're here to make like this like the best experience possible. Even if it's a person that comes every single day, we're just trying to make sure that that person comes every single day and every single day feels satisfied.
The shrimp and grits.
The size of the shrimp was another thing.
Colosso.
Well, I use
At all.
yeah. That's what we like. Like I said, I like to make sure that our guests come here and they get what they're expecting. If we're gonna be selling shrimp, you're like, you want to see shrimp. You don't want to be like those little tiny.
That you feed to the cats.
Exactly, like those little shrimp that you don't even feel the flavor. That I don't know, maybe are ground laboratories or something. Nowadays everything's changed. So I want to make sure that our customers get what they expect. So we actually use 6 shrimp. So it's like 6 shrimp per pound. So like really, really, really big on size. And like I think shrimp and grits in many countries, in many parts of the country, they never see them like this big. This is one of the.
Yeah, so they were like mini lobsters.
Yeah, it's more like a prawn, like a
Colosso. So there were 6 shrimps on the plate, 5 or 6.
Three shrimp.
Oh.
Yep, but they're big enough. That's
They're
pretty
huge.
much half a pound already on that plate. So
Well, what I like too is they were deveined. A lot of restaurants don't clean them, and yours were already deveined and
yeah, we
perfectly
have it clean, ready to go. The least we want is you guys to go through my struggle. You guys are here to have a dinner experience, not to clean up the animals, not to do anything else. Like you guys should get what you were supposed to. So.
Life if you even come to South Florida, everybody goes to Boca, and we're in Mizner Park, one of the most famous centers in South Florida, and there are so many great restaurants out here. But this with Penelope's, I am so impressed what you guys have done. And when the beignets came out, I didn't think you could come close to New Orleans beignets. And Chef, I got to tell you, you wiped them out. Those were some of the best beignets I've ever had. And it's like, Chef really puts his heart into it. Your company is so blessed to have you. They really are. And, we both looked at each other with the beignets. I could not believe. Now, do you do different coffees at all? Because we didn't even look there. Coffee?
For that one, yes, I use. We do. Actually, I have a coffee creme and glaze. That's the sauce that goes with our beignets. And our beignets are like croissant beignets, so they're like that's why they have that texture, like that is a little bit soft on the inside and really crunchy on the outside. So that's my little secret is a croissant beignet.
Sauce. The sauce that you use with beignets.
Yeah, it's a coffee creme and glaze. So it's another like subculture using this highlighting the subculture coffee. So we use our subculture coffee to make the creme and glaze. So our creme and glaze, like with a little bit of heavy cream, sweetener components. So that's what we use for that.
He's in competition with Jimmy Butler. Big time coffee. Big face.
And I heard your Caesar salad. Did you make your own dressing? I heard Caesar salad is amazing.
Yeah. Well, like the Caesar salad I do is like really, it's a little bit different. It's fork and knife salad. So it's a little bit completely different to what a traditional Caesar salad looks. But then we make our Caesar dressing in house. I use white anchovies instead of the regular anchovies to make the dressing. That changes a lot of the flavor profile. And then for Parmesan cheese, instead of using like the regular grated Parmesan cheeses that you buy at the store, I actually grate my own Parmesan, make sure it's real Parmigiano Reggiano. So I use real Parmesan cheese into that. So it's two things that is gonna change the flavor profile. And even though there's certain items that are similar, they will make a huge difference along the way once you mix it up or you're trying to achieve this type of results.
People need to make reservations.
So we do take. We actually have first serve, first come first serve. We do what we do is we take kind of a head call. So like when people like when you guys are coming and you guys have a large party of people, you guys can just give us a heads up, and then we'll set up and accommodate a place. So by the time that you get your group or your party is here, we'll be ready for you guys.
I know what I want to hear about. I want to hear about the king mushroom, scallops, and asparagus.
Well, that is actually a vegan dish. Right now, vegan and vegetarian diets are really popular and high, and there's such a high demand on those items. So when I was coming out with the menu, I was thinking like to have something on the menu that is completely different and no one has. And then I just use like some of our like some really fresh ingredients in order to make this dish happen. But what I use king trumpet mushrooms and I cut it into like big cylinders and then score them, and they look similar to a scallop. Then I also use oyster mushrooms. Once those mushrooms are cooked and really crispy, they actually tend to have flavors similar to like a chicharron. So like I added all these components and these different textures on mushrooms. So like once you have different bites of mushrooms, you have different textures, but also different flavor profiles. And then also with the asparagus and the cilantro puree that it comes with it, it makes a huge balance on flavors. So it's a whole explosion of a bunch of different flavors, freshness, earthiness on flavors, a lot of like different flavors, and it actually throws your palate away because you know what you're eating, but then you're tasting something completely different, and it completely throws you off. Like people even ask, "Is like, what is this?" Like mushrooms. I've never had mushrooms this way. Like
I love mushrooms.
You do your Nola burger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got to tell you, I had your burger at Fernando. That is the best burger I've ever had
so far.
Yeah.
Until this one.
He said this
That's what I was going to ask.
Yes.
This one is different.
Yes, a little bit better.
How's it different?
Well, I use a different ratio of beef in here. I use a high profile burger patty instead of what we always do at El Segundo is 2 4-ounce patties smashed down. So like we don't really can take temperatures on it. In here is a high profile burger, and we use a very specific blend. We use a chuck brisket cherry blend and specific amounts on those. That's a blend that has a bunch of like meaty flavor and also has this fatty content that makes burger a burger. So it's lean, but it has a bunch of like fat, so it has a bunch of flavor. Fat for me is flavor.
Yeah.
So I don't look at it in a bad way. Fat is always flavor, and actually fat are good. Like it's the different fats that are bad for you, like
Right.
For cholesterol and all these issues. But actually, animal fat is not as bad as like all these vegetable oils and things like that. So that's what we do for our burger, and then our burger goes also topped with our pimento cheese. And you guys are a little familiar with the pimento cheese.
I got to tell you, I can't stand pimento. And Chef got me to try his pimento dip at El Segundo. I couldn't stop eating it. In fact, I love guacamole. I actually liked the pimento dip. It doesn't matter if you don't like pimento or not.
It didn't taste like pimento.
But what you do with food, chef, there's not a listen. When you said about French food, we've had Balloon on our show, one of the finest French chefs in the world, Daniel Balloon. And I'm telling you, he would love your cooking. So, what you're doing with the restaurant now? Are you offering stuff at
Kapow? Yes, he is.
Yeah, I'm the culinary director for this side of the company.
I don't see how. First of all, it's tough. And we read that article.
He has 3 restaurants.
Actually, there'll be 4.
There's going to be more.
There's 4 actually right now. 2 locations of Capao, one West Palm Beach and Boca, Penelope and El Segundo, and then there's another coming up for Del Rey as well.
You're opening another restaurant next to this one, aren't you?
Well, that's also in the plans. That's Chicken and Pie. That's part of the subculture group, but that one's still on the works. So.
Okay.
Now, what are the hours here?
So our hours of operations right now we're just doing dinner service. We open at 4 with our happy hour menu and full menu, and then we close at midnight on the weekdays, and then 1 in the morning on the weekends. And we have after 10 or 11 p.m. on the weekends, we have a late night happy hour and late night happy hour menu for food and bar as well.
So what does that entail? Are they discounted pricing on the menu?
Yeah, there's some certain discounts on drinks and foods as well, certain items. But then we do like a happy hour, so like we do double happy hours.
Well, I have a question. What is the special for tonight? Because I know you have specials every night.
So, that's one of the things that we like to do. We want our customers, our guests to come here and always have something new and something different to try. So, for fish of the day, we have a local cod mahi with cilantro puree and asparagus. That's going on today. And then for steak, we have a 14 ounces New York strip prime with asparagus, roasted king mushrooms, and a bone marrow butter.
I love mushrooms. So, what are the prices on the
for this one? Is
tonight?
For the special tonight is $65 for the prime steak, and then it's gonna be $36 for mahi.
Well, I got to tell you, this is now my new place. And people say, where should I go eat? And a lot of times I've heard Nigel's got some great restaurants. I'm telling you, I've changed it for the last 10 years. It's always been, there's another restaurant. Penelope is the place to go.
I like it here because, when I first went to El Segundo, it had a vacation vibe to it. And then you walk into here, and I love these lights.
The umbrellas.
I love the floating umbrellas going up. And I actually really do feel like I'm in New Orleans. I really do. The lights, the paintings, just everything in here. And then the food is nothing like I ever had in New Orleans, chef. You outdid yourself. You really did.
Wow. Yeah, you have can you make reservations online?
I don't think we have that on the service available as of right now, but like I said, right now we're doing a first come first serve.
Food delivery.
That's what I was
Food
getting
delivery,
ready to
yes.
ask.
Yes,
Getting ready to
food
ask.
delivery. We had
DoorDash?
it integrated with our tow system. So like once you get into our website, it'll connect you with all the items, and then it'll connect you with the delivery service provider.
Wow. Can't wait to try. Can't wait. I'm telling you, people are going to love it here. You know what? The only thing bad is we're out in Palm Beach area. We're going to have to be coming here a lot. It's really that good Chef.
You guys can always take some beignets to the way back. So.
Well, Boca's only 20 minutes from middle of Palm Beach County. It's not that far. And Bob, if you're listening tonight, this is a restaurant you definitely have to come to. Because I know you travel from Deerfield Beach all over. This is one that you will totally enjoy. So hopefully you're online
and you know
tonight.
what? Also, all of our listeners in Stewart, it's definitely in Jupiter. All of our listeners in Jupiter, it is absolutely worth the drive. You know, we've never steered people wrong, and you know we are always honest with you. But I'm telling you, the name of the restaurant is Penelope's. It's in Mizner. It's real easy to find. It's right next door to the bowling alley.
Right on the corner, right by the museum, actually, just right there.
Exactly.
Oh, we have 5 minutes left. So, Chef, what do you want our listeners to know about Penelope?
Well, Penelope, first off, is like one of the hottest spots right now. Definitely, you guys need to come try everything out. We have different options for all type of people. We accommodate for gluten-free allergies, all type of allergies. Our gumbo, like even though it's usually a stew that is served and made all together, for those people that has shellfish allergy, we can do a shellfish allergy as well. So without shrimp, our gumbo goes without the chicken, andouille sausage and shrimp, so we can eliminate the shrimp side. I did that kind of on purpose for those people that had certain, allergies. Same thing with our bouillabaisse, same thing with our mussels, things, everything that even though they have gluten or certain ingredients that are gluten in that part of the dish, we can make them without it. So everybody kind of pretty much can have that same experience as everybody else. So,
You know what I wish? I wish we could put together a little chef contest and have Chef Kevin in it with all these other chefs in Palm Beach. I'm telling you, you'd blow them away. You are so creative. You're a genius. Oh, he gets embarrassed, but he really is.
See, Kevin hadn't seen the tamales a restaurant before.
Oh, my sister gets so upset, and I get embarrassed. I don't like to be mean, and
We have to be honest. Reputation.
And we just saw one restaurant that I didn't care for actually closed. So you guys are going to be around for many, many, many years. We have 3 minutes left, and this, I'm like so shocked at how quickly this goes. So do you want to give the address one more time and the phone number and how to reach you or anybody?
perfect. Yep. So our phone number is 561-896-1038. And then we're on 431 Plaza Real in Boca Raton, 33432. Right up, we have like free parking lot right behind our building. So there's free parking, parking by meters in the streets. We are accessible for like all type of ways. Like we can accommodate all type of like sizes of parties. We have an outside bar and outside seating as well. So for those who wants to like enjoy a little bit of the the breeze or the hot weather right now.
I hate to do it, Chef. You catering it all.
Right now, we're gonna start doing some catering and some other things, especially going on the season. I try to do the corporate events and things like that. So we're just organizing right now. We just like recently opened. We're making sure that we tie up all the different aspects in the kitchen and make sure that we can provide a really good service for our guests.
I'm sorry, guys. Time's up. Again, it goes so quickly. Thank you, Chef, for
Thank you, Sophia.
everything
Thank you, Steve.
you've done for us. We really appreciate you taking your time and showcasing your talents and your beautiful restaurants.
Now Robbie's gonna have,
And now
Bob's gonna have to give a raise now.
Yeah.
After this.
Thank you. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in tonight. And we will see you next Monday, 6 p.m. www.w4cy Visit our website, eatandcritiquetvshow.com.
See you next week.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
You've been listening to the Eat and Critique Show with your hosts, award-winning restaurant critics Steve-O and Sophia, brought to you by Incontro Italian Cuisine and Steakhouse, located in Coral Springs on the Walk. Be sure to join us again next week as Steve-O and Sophia interview top local restaurant owners and chefs. Steve-O and Sophia are known for their pure honesty when it comes to reviewing local restaurants. See you next week.
They couldn't hear you.